Bismillah-Rahman-Rahim, my brothers and sisters in Islam, today I want to speak about something very gentle, something very beautiful, something that perhaps we may not pay attention to. You see, not every message from Allah comes with thunder. Some of them come with soft pause and a peaceful gaze. Yes, today's message is about the cat. You might wonder, why would a cat coming close to me mean something from Allah? Subhan Allah, everything in this dunya is created with purpose. Every leaf that falls, every breeze that touches your skin, and yes, even every cat that sits beside you can carry a message. So let us reflect, when a cat comes close to you, what could be the 7 messages from Allah? 1. A message of calmness. Sometimes when your heart is troubled, Allah sends you calmness in unexpected forms. A cat comes quietly, sits beside you and does nothing, yet your heart feels peace. That is not random. That's Rama, the mercy of Allah. 2. A reminder of kindness. Our Prophet Muhammad was known for his kindness to animals. There was a cat that used to sleep in his home. He even made wudu once while the cat drank from the water. So if a cat comes to you, it may be a reminder. Be kind, be gentle. Allah loves those who show mercy to others. 3. A test of character. It's easy to show good character in public. But when a stray cat jumps on your lap or brushes against your leg, do you push it away or do you let it be, showing compassion even in private? Sometimes Allah tests us in these small, silent ways. 4. A sign of blessing. According to some scholars, the presence of cats, especially in homes, can be a sign of Barakah. They eat what Allah provides and they disturb no one. They are clean, respectful and peaceful like the people of Jannah. 5. A reflection of your energy. Animals sense energy. If a cat is coming close to you, maybe your heart is soft. Maybe you're in a state of dhikr, remembrance of Allah. That cat may be drawn to the Nur light around you. Think about it. Could that be a sign of your closeness to Allah? 6. A nudge to reflect. Sometimes when you're too busy, stressed, or even distant from prayer, Allah sends a moment to pause. A cat may sit beside you at that very time. That is not coincidence. That is Allah saying, slow down, reflect, I am near. 7. A door to Jannah. Do you know there was a woman who went to hell for mistreating a cat, and another who entered Jannah for giving water to a thirsty dog? So never think your treatment of animals is minor. It may be your very ticket to Jannah. My beloved brothers and sisters, let's not overlook the signs of Allah. They come not just in dreams and visions, but sometimes through a gentle creature sent your way. So the next time a cat comes close to you, don't just see it as a random animal. See it as a message from the most merciful Ar-Rahman, a chance for reflection, mercy, and connection. May Allah make us among those who recognize His signs, even in the smallest creatures. Ameen. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Sometimes Allah's most powerful messages are delivered not through grand signs, but through the quietest of moments. Imagine this. You are sitting alone, feeling overwhelmed, stressed, or perhaps even disconnected from your surroundings or from your Lord. And then, without warning, a cat comes near you. It doesn't ask for anything. It doesn't speak. It simply sits by your side, perhaps purring softly or just gazing at you with peace in its eyes. You may brush it off as a random act of nature, but pause for a moment. Could it be that Allah is trying to calm you in a way you didn't expect? Allah is as Salam, the source of peace, and He sends peace to His servants in many ways. One of those ways may come through the gentleness of His creation. When a cat comes near you at a time when your heart is uneasy, it could be a divine gesture, a sign that Allah knows exactly what you're going through, and He is sending you peace wrapped in fur. This isn't superstition, this is reflection. Our Deen teaches us to look at creation and ponder over it. Everything Allah has created serves a purpose, even a cat's calm presence during your emotional storm. Cats do not speak the language we speak, but they are creatures of Allah that carry tranquility with them. Their presence can be soothing without any words. In a moment of stress or sadness, a cat coming near may be Allah's subtle way of saying, "I am with you, you are not alone." We live in a world full of noise, where we search for solutions in loud places. But sometimes the answer is in silence. The Prophet Muhammad often withdrew to silence in the cave of Hira, and it was there that the greatest revelation began. So when a cat brings you into a moment of stillness, maybe that is a chance for reflection, repentance, or just resting your heart. Some people wonder, isn't this a bit much, a cat bringing a message from Allah? But remember, a bird carried food to the Prophet Ibrahim in the fire. A spider and a dove were used to protect the Prophet Muhammad in the cave. Allah uses his creation however he wills. So why can't a cat bring calm to your anxious heart? Don't ignore these small moments. They may be small to you, but they're part of Allah's infinite wisdom. In a world full of noise and distraction, a cat may be a divine way to slow you down, make you breathe, and connect you back to the one who created you. The message is simple: be still, feel peace, I am near. So the next time a cat comes close to you while your heart is troubled, know that it may very well be Allah sending a gentle messenger, not to speak, but to sit with you in silence, offering you the gift of calmness. One of the most beautiful aspects of our faith is the emphasis Islam places on kindness, not just to fellow human beings, but to all of creation, including animals. When a cat comes close to you, especially when it seeks comfort or companionship, it can be a gentle reminder from Allah to embody the character of the Prophet Muhammad, who was a mercy to the worlds. He didn't just show compassion in grand situations. He demonstrated mercy even in the smallest, quietest moments, and animals were no exception to his care. There are authentic narrations that tell us how the Prophet treated cats. One well-known narration describes how a cat slept on his garment while he was seated. When it was time for him to get up, rather than disturbing the cat, he carefully cut the part of the cloth on which the cat was sleeping so that it wouldn't be woken or startled. This wasn't done in front of a crowd. It wasn't for show. It was done in private, and that is true kindness. A cat coming near you can be Allah's way of reminding you to return to that prophetic character, gentle, soft, and considerate. In today's world, where people are becoming increasingly harsh and impatient, especially with things they deem insignificant, this reminder becomes even more important. How we treat animals, particularly vulnerable ones like cats, reflects the condition of our heart. If you cannot be kind to a helpless creature, how will you be kind to those around you? How will you be merciful to your family, your neighbors, or even to your own self? A cat's approach is not just a random event, it's a call to reevaluate how much mercy you carry within you. Our Prophet told us of a woman who was punished severely because she imprisoned a cat, neither feeding it nor letting it go to find food. On the other hand, a prostitute was forgiven by Allah because she gave water to a thirsty dog. These are not just stories, they are lessons. Allah sees the sincerity in your small actions. So when a cat comes to you, even if it's for a fleeting moment, it may be an opportunity to earn reward, to practice gentleness, and to reconnect with the Sunnah of the Prophet. That small creature may not be able to say a word, but its presence speaks volumes. It may be Allah's way of saying, here is a test. Will you show compassion like my messenger did? That moment becomes a mirror for your character and a moment of potential reward or reflection. Allah does not need grand gestures from us. Even feeding a cat, giving it a warm place to sit, or offering it safety could be recorded as a noble deed. So let that small creature remind you of something great, your duty to live as a person of kindness. When you show mercy to what's on the earth, the one above the heavens shows mercy to you. In the eyes of Allah, nothing is insignificant. Every situation we encounter, no matter how small it may seem, can serve as a test of our character. When a cat approaches you, especially in an unexpected moment, perhaps when you're walking down the street, sitting in the masjid courtyard, or even at home, it may not just be a simple interaction. It could be Allah testing the condition of your heart. How do you respond? Do you react with annoyance and push the animal away? Or do you respond with gentleness, understanding that even this moment holds value? One of the greatest markers of true character is how a person behaves when no one is watching. Public manners are easy. Many of us can smile in crowds and speak kindly when we're being observed. But when we're alone or in a situation where we think no one will hold us accountable, that's when our real self emerges. A cat coming close to you might just be that moment, a test from Allah to reveal your inner character. Will you show mercy to a weak creature? Will you consider its needs? Or will you see it as an inconvenience and cast it aside? This may seem like a small thing, but in Islam, small deeds have great weight. The Prophet Muhammad taught us that even removing something harmful from the road is an act of charity. So imagine how much more beloved it is in the sight of Allah to treat a living being with dignity and mercy. When a cat rubs against you, sits near you, or seeks your attention, it may simply want warmth, safety, or food. But spiritually, that moment is more than just physical. It's an opportunity from Allah to respond with ice and excellence, to act with the same compassion our Prophet showed time and again. There are countless examples throughout Islamic tradition of the righteous being gentle and merciful to animals. Their kindness wasn't limited to big occasions. It was a way of life, a reflection of their humility and deep awareness that every creature belongs to Allah. How you respond to a cat, especially when it seeks your nearness, is not about the cat alone. It's about who you are. It's about what resides in your heart. And perhaps, in that simple moment, Allah is presenting you with an opportunity. You might think you're feeding a cat or letting it rest in peace beside you, but what you're really doing is passing a test of character, or maybe failing it. What if that moment was written for you before you were even born, as a way for Allah to elevate you in His sight, or expose what you need to fix? So the next time a cat comes close to you, don't rush past the moment. Treat it as a mirror, a test, a silent question from your Lord. What kind of person are you when no one else is watching? Sometimes Allah places blessings in our lives in ways we don't fully recognize. While we often look for barakah in wealth, health, or time, we may overlook the subtle forms it can take, like the presence of certain animals. In Islamic tradition, cats are not only seen as clean and gentle creatures, but many scholars throughout history have spoken about the peaceful energy and barakah that may accompany their presence. When a cat comes close to you, especially regularly, or even chooses to stay in your home or around your environment, it could be more than a coincidence. It could be a sign of Allah's mercy and tranquility surrounding you. The Prophet Muhammad lived a life that was full of gentleness and serenity. His relationship with animals, particularly cats, was full of mercy. In fact, one of his companions was nicknamed Abu Huraira, the father of kittens, because of his love for cats. This tells us a lot about the culture of kindness and spiritual purity that surrounded the Prophet. The presence of cats was not frowned upon. It was welcomed, it was respected, and it was viewed as part of a balanced, spiritually aware life. This teaches us that a home that allows such creatures, treats them well, and coexists with the creation of Allah is often a home filled with tranquility. It's also known that cats are extremely sensitive to their surroundings. They tend to avoid chaotic or spiritually heavy environments. Instead, they are drawn to peace, cleanliness, and quiet energy. So if a cat chooses to be near you or reside in your space, it may be attracted to the serenity and nur light that is present. This could be a beautiful reminder that perhaps your space has been blessed by Allah. It doesn't mean perfection, but it might mean that Allah has placed peace there, and the cat is simply responding to what it senses. In some cultures and traditional Islamic understandings, there's also the belief that cats are protectors of the home from unseen harm. While this isn't a matter of doctrine or aqidah, many have observed that homes with cats often feel safer, quieter, and calmer. Whether it's due to their presence, their routine movements, or just the emotional effect they have on the people inside, the result is a sense of peace. And peace is one of the greatest forms of barakah. Let's not forget, too, that barakah isn't only in material form. Sometimes it's in the way your heart feels at ease, the way your mind slows down when you're in the company of a calm creature, or the way your soul feels connected to something greater than yourself. That sense of calmness, contentment, and spiritual ease is itself a blessing. So if a cat comes close to you, lingers around you, or finds comfort in your presence, take a moment to reflect. It may be that Allah has placed a sign in your life, a subtle indication that His mercy surrounds you, and that your space is not just occupied, but blessed animals, especially cats, are far more perceptive than we often realize. While they do not understand our languages or our emotions in the way humans do, they are finely tuned to energy, mood, and presence. When a cat comes close to you, it may be responding to something you yourself are unaware of. Spiritually speaking, cats are often drawn to calmness, warmth, sincerity, and peace, the very traits that arise when a heart is engaged in remembrance of Allah. So when a cat chooses to sit near you, rest on your lap, or quietly curl up beside you, it may be a reflection of your own spiritual state in that moment. Many times, people who engage regularly in prayer, dhikr, and maintaining spiritual cleanliness notice that animals feel comfortable around them. There is a kind of inner light, nur, that emanates from a person who lives with consciousness of Allah. This light is not visible to the eye, but it can be sensed. While humans may overlook it, animals do not. A cat may be attracted to that calm, peaceful energy, sensing the safety and serenity that surrounds you. It's not always about what you say or do, sometimes it's about who you are when no one is watching, and what resides quietly in your heart. At the same time, this also means that if a cat avoids you, or seems disturbed in your presence, it might be a moment to reflect inward. Are you agitated, restless, or carrying emotional burdens that have disrupted your inner peace? While we should not take animal behavior as literal judgment, it can be a reminder to look deeper. Are we carrying stress, anger, or distractions that have distanced us from Allah? Sometimes, the way animals respond to us may help us become aware of the emotional or spiritual state we've been neglecting. This idea isn't about superstition, it's about awareness. It's about recognizing that Allah created everything with a system, and within that system, even the behavior of a small cat can serve as a mirror to the soul. If a creature known for sensitivity, calmness, and affection chooses to approach you, perhaps that is a sign that you are radiating some of those same qualities. Perhaps in that moment you are aligned with peace. And peace, sakina, is a gift from Allah that He places in the hearts of the believers. So don't overlook that quiet moment. If a cat feels safe around you, maybe it's because your presence has become safe. If it sits beside you without fear, maybe your heart is carrying mercy. And if it chooses you out of a crowd, maybe that's Allah's way of letting you see yourself not through a mirror, but through the eyes of His creation. It may just be a cat, but its closeness could be saying far more about the condition of your soul than you think. Life moves fast. We are constantly rushing from one task to another, from one obligation to the next. In this endless cycle of busyness, our hearts often become heavy, distracted, and disconnected from what truly matters. We stop noticing the small signs, the quiet moments that Allah sends us as reminders to pause, reflect, and realign. When a cat comes close to you during such a moment, when your mind is overwhelmed, your heart unsettled, or your spirit distracted, it may be more than just a random encounter. It may be a soft divine nudge, a signal from your Lord to slow down and return to stillness. In the midst of chaos, Allah's mercy often reaches us in the most unexpected ways. A cat, with its calm demeanor and gentle presence, doesn't demand your attention the way the world does. It simply appears, it sits, it waits. In its silence, it invites you to enter a moment of peace. This is not something to overlook. Perhaps at that very moment, Allah is giving you a break from your worries, offering you a chance to breathe and reflect. Maybe you haven't paused to talk to Allah in days. Maybe you've been so caught up in dunya that your soul has been longing for quiet. And here comes a small creature, carrying no words, but offering exactly what your heart needs. We tend to think reminders from Allah come only through verses we read, lectures we hear, or hardships we face. But Allah is Al-Latif, the most subtle. His signs are not always loud or painful. Sometimes they are gentle. A cat curling up beside you while you're anxious, or placing its head on your lap as you sit quietly, could be a reminder from Allah. Slow down, I am near. Reflect on your purpose. Don't forget me. It is in those simple, quiet moments that reflection becomes easier. The noise of life fades just enough for the soul to speak, and for us to listen. Many of us live externally connected but internally detached. A cat's presence disrupts that. It doesn't come to judge or speak. It simply brings stillness. And in that stillness, you might begin to realize how far you've drifted, or how much you've longed for peace. These little moments are opportunities from Allah. They are like spiritual whispers saying, pause, look within, return to me. So, the next time a cat comes close to you when you're overwhelmed or emotionally distant, take it as a moment to reflect, not just on the cat, but on your state of heart. Use that brief encounter to reconnect with yourself and with Allah. Ask yourself, when was the last time I truly paused? The last time I made sincere dhikr? The last time I thanked Allah for peace? Maybe this moment, with a quiet companion beside you, is exactly the space Allah created to bring you back. Sometimes the smallest interruptions are actually the greatest invitations to reflect, to realign, and to return to Him. My beloved brothers and sisters, we often look for the signs of Allah in grand events, waiting for something dramatic or extraordinary to remind us of our purpose. But Allah is Al-Latif, the most subtle. His signs are sometimes wrapped in silence, in simplicity, and in the ordinary moments we overlook. A cat coming close to you may seem like something small, but in reality, it can be a deeply spiritual moment. It could be Allah reminding you to calm your heart, to return to kindness, to pass a hidden test of character, or to recognize the barakah in your life that you've taken for granted. It may reflect the peaceful state of your soul or serve as a divine pause in your busy life, a gentle nudge to remember your Lord. Every interaction, every gesture of mercy, and every act of reflection matters in the sight of Allah. If the treatment of a single animal could be the reason, someone is forgiven or punished, as the Prophet taught us. then surely our moments with Allah's creation are not without purpose. So the next time a cat comes near you, don't just see an animal. See the opportunity, see the message, and most importantly, see the mercy of Allah reaching you in the most delicate way. Let us live with hearts that are open to reflection, eyes that notice the signs around us, and hands that act with kindness, even in the smallest of ways. For what may seem like a quiet moment with a cat may, in the records of the unseen, be a moment of closeness to the Creator, a step toward Jannah, or a turning point in your heart. May Allah grant us the ability to recognize His signs, to respond with compassion, and to carry the character of the Prophet in all that we do, even in the presence of the smallest of His creatures. Ameen. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.